Now to the man with the golden voice. Just a few days ago, Ted Williams was homeless. He was looking for work when a local reporter in Columbus, Ohio, recorded his God-given gift of voice.
That's right, and within hours, this video went viral, and now Williams has become an overnight sensation with job offers from all around the country, including from this show. Ted Williams, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Ms. Curry.
So it has been quite a morning since you talked earlier this morning to Matt and Meredith, because everyone has been wanting to talk to you.
Yes, I couldn't even go out and smoke a cigarette.
What
I just
happened? Somebody grabbed you, then you were on another network?
You were kidnapped by another morning show.
Yes, and then it's just, oh, God.
So what is it like, then, to have everyone just be grabbing at you like this? Because we should probably tell people that this is just a few days ago. You were asking people for money.
I was on I-71 in Columbus, Ohio, and Hudson, you know, asking people for money, and it's just outrageous how all of this has just come to be. I mean, I thought God blessed, like I said, in increments, you know, and He just gave me a big deluge of blessings. And, you know, I feel like $1 million lottery winner, or you know, Dorothy landing in Oz, or you know. Susan Boyle, she must have felt the same way, or you know, that kind of thing.
That's amazing. That really is an amazing analogy. You're from the New York area. You're from Brooklyn.
Yeah, I'm from Brooklyn.
You're from Brooklyn. You have this wonderful voice. As a teenager, you were enraptured by radio.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, at WWRL, that was a big station here in New York. That's right. That's right. With Hank Spann and all those guys, and so we went on a field trip, and the guy that I met, you know, was Hank Spann, and Hank's voice didn't match the you know, the character that I witnessed, and it was described to me as being theater of mind. Radio was theater of mind, and so I just wanted to give people an illusion, because sometimes when I was in my heyday, Al, people would I'd say, come on down to the latest venue that we're having, and people would come down and say, hi, is Ted Williams around? And I'd say, I'm Ted Williams, and they'd say, They would like look at me like, no. They expected, you know, something, a bigger person, you know, and in most cases a darker complected man, you know, that kind of thing. And so I got a kick out of that, you know. I would always make my voice a little deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yeah. Is that the lower? Can you go any further lower than that?
Let me see just about how far.
Okay. No, okay, we get the picture. No,
yes, ma'am.
Amazing. But one of the most poignant moments this morning when I saw you talk to Matt and Meredith was when you started talking about your mother and
I
how
love that woman.
you haven't. When was the last time you?
20 years ago.
When you actually saw her?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. When we actually kissed and hugged and all.
And have you spoken on the phone with her?
Yes, but she.
How long ago was that?
I think last week was the first. You know, and she had found out, you know, that I was flagging a sign, so to speak, and that didn't please her.
So she didn't really. You haven't spoken to her since all
then.
This is broken up. Well, there is a statement. I think you've got it written down here that she's made this morning
from your mom, Julia Williams. She said she's thrilled her only child is turning his life around. She said, "This will be my day to see my son get up and do something to help himself. He has so much talent. I hope this will be the thing for him. He came from a nice family, and then he went poor. So maybe this will build him up and let him see that there's more in life than hanging around with the wrong people and taking drugs."
That sounds like Mommy. That sounds like her.
So what did happen?
Well, you know, again, in 1993, you know, I just started taking everything for granted, all of my, you know, successes and all, and ran into some people who had introduced me to cocaine. And prior to that, I had an alcohol problem, but it never took away from what I was doing. You know, I'd get up in the morning, and I did morning shows in Columbus, and I would take a little drink, and good morning, everybody. 5 minutes after 6 o'clock, 6:05, you know, and I kept going. But then when the cocaine was introduced to me, and of course, bless his heart, John Belushi and all these guys, I was like, I thought that was a drug that, you know, only certain people get hooked to. And you know what I mean? And I tried a little that, and then eventually the crack came in, and that's what killed Applejack. You know?
Well, that pulled you down.
Yes.
What pulled you up is because there was somebody, a reporter, from which was the name of the newspaper?
The Columbus Dispatch.
There you go, the Columbus Daily. And
that man, yes.
Yeah, and he just pulled out his camera.
No, what happened was he came by about a week or two before he even did this. And him and his family were driving. They were on their way to church. And on Sunday, this particular Sunday, I was standing out there, and he rolled his window down and gave me a $20 bill. And for people to give you $20, you know, in these times, you know, that's like, wow, that's almost like the feeling I had right now.
So the
that same feeling.
There.
Yeah, so he gave me the 20, and then he wanted to. He was curious about the sign. So I did something like, you know, when you're listening to nothing but the best of oldies, and his family and everybody was mesmerized, and he drove off. So a couple weeks later, he said he had been trying to find me again. So he gave me a couple dollars, and I was happy. And then the very next day, here he comes out of nowhere with this camera and said, listen, I work for the Columbus Dispatch. I'm a web designer. Is there any way you could do something for me? And I said, yeah. He said, listen, when I come off the ramp, I want you to just hold your sign and do what's normal. So he came out and he gave me my $1. I didn't care what I had to do to get that $1. You know, I wanted that $1.
And this goes viral, and all of a sudden, you end up here.
Isn't that crazy?
What is your dream job, Ted?
My dream job?
Yeah. What would it be?
I'd like to be a music director of a radio station, you know, a popular radio station. It could be AM, FM, or whatever. But I just want to just have an input on programming, so that I feel I have a taste for what people would like to listen to.
So to all those people, because the feet, I mean, no,
get over this. God, I can't get over this.
To all those
I'm sorry I had to say that.
I know,
I'm
but to
sorry,
all those
I'm
people,
feeling this.
okay, all
Yes,
right, well.
Yes,
well, then, so what you're really feeling then is the intensity of this moment. It's all coming down on you.
Yes.
That here you are.
Yes.
And how are you going to be able to handle this, Ted?
How is that feeling?
Well, this lovely lady that you guys referred me to, she's a psychologist, and she was telling me about, I believe her name is Miss Atkins, Dale Atkins.
Yes. She's wonderful.
She's given me this little exercise of breathing, you know, and she's given me this advice because I told her this is so crazy that being the recovering alcoholic and addict that I am, you know, she said meditate before medicate. And because I told her, I said I could use a nerve pill right about now, you know, a nice little sedative of some sort. And so she showed me she took me to a place, most happiest moment in my life. When I was young, my mom took me to Bermuda. And I think I love Bermuda. You know, I don't, you know what's going on with Bermuda now, but in the 70s, that was the Hawaii of the Atlantic, as far as I'm concerned. And being from New York, Bermuda is the closest thing to Hawaii that we have. So she's told me about how to deal with this situation with breathing. So it's something I haven't done before, and I'm going to try it.
Every right to feel overwhelmed, and she's absolutely right that you should breathe. But can I
can't tell y'all how much I look at y'all, man. They're on TV, and this is outrageous.
No, but
we're going to give you a chance to compose yourself. We're going to go to a commercial. Please. We're going to be back after this. We're going to talk to you a little more.
Okay, yes, sir.
Ted Williams.
Thank you, man. This is outrageous, man. And you know what?